Welcome to CITAM ChurchOnline. My name is Reverend Jotham Munene. I serve at CITAM Mombasa, and I'm delighted to again have you join us for this video in this series, The Cry for the Boy Child. Today, we look at the boy child and drugs. Is drugs another scheme of the enemy to eliminate the boy child? Join me. The theme verse we've been using is Jeremiah 31 verse 15. Rachel weeping because her children are being killed, and she refuses to be comforted because they are no more. And like we said, the Young Literal Translation actually says the sons are being killed. And in the Hebrew, it is actually the sons. So the boy child is under threat, and we need to speak up, we need to cry out, we need to take action, as Rachel here is seen to do. Drugs are substances, chemical substances that create a good feeling or a high, a form of excitement, some way of feeling that you are escaping reality. It's a way of running away from stress for situations that you don't want to be engaged or to think about. So these are substances that people begin, and usually they start by experimenting and as young people, and sometimes they are not able to get out because now they become addicted. Drugs have quite a number of side effects, including death. When we talk of drugs, it's all kind of drugs, but I found it very interesting that last year there were reports, and I got one from the France 24 website that reported that Mombasa was becoming a capital of drug trafficking. They were speaking especially of heroin and cocaine. I hope that that's not true, but it looks like there may be some truth. And these drugs being trafficked or being sold, not only in Mombasa, other cities in East Africa, are a danger to our boys. And they are not the only ones. I mean, there are many other drugs, marijuana and what have you, and even prescription drugs that people are using or misusing and ending up harming them. Some of the effects of drugs are you can get STDs, sexually transmitted diseases, and other infections that come out of use of syringes, sharing needles, sharing all kinds of things, and you end up getting infections and some of these diseases and sicknesses. But drugs also affect your mental state. As I said, they make you dependent. Drugs can affect fertility. Drugs do affect sexual function of men and women. And for men, one of the areas is erectile dysfunction. In fact, a study was reported from Moi University in November 2015. And this study was on miraa, known as cat. I know there have been people arguing that miraa is a very harmless substance, and it is not true. This study showed, and I quote, that miraa affects sexual capability of men and could lead to heart attack. This is according to Dr. Ochiba Lukanda, the lead scientist in that study. So, I'm saying miraa is part of it. Marijuana is part of it. Cigarette and other, some that are looking not very harmful, but also the harder drugs that are being experimented on by the young people, college, university, in the neighborhood. And girls are now also increasingly being affected. But again, these videos are about the boy child. Are we losing a generation through drugs? You may wonder, what's wrong with drugs? The Bible says in 1 Corinthians chapter 6 and verse 12, all things are lawful for me, but I will not be dominated by anything. Another word used in another translation is, I will not be mastered. Or rather, we could say, I will not be enslaved. I will not be held captive, controlled by anything. So, and that's what a drug does. It controls your life. When it wants you to take the drug, sometimes the person can do anything to get it. And like we have said, it has terrible side effects. Now, this thing about sexual dysfunction is a deliberate way to ensure that our boys sometimes are not able to reproduce. And that is a direct threat to the boy child and to the community, because then the children are not able to come and then we don't propagate. So that is another method Pharaoh is using to kill the boy child. Now, what can we do? Number one, if you are using drugs, get help. Stop. If it is difficult, get a counselor, talk to your church, talk to your community leaders, get yourself into a rehab place, and get yourself help from drug addiction. It is going to shorten your life. It is going to harm you. It's going to affect yourself and the boy child that is supposed to also come, and even girl child, from you. Secondly, do not be a conduit. There are some people that look very harmless that we have found, and the government has found that sometimes very good-looking people have been found being a conduit, transporting drugs, or sometimes allowing people to send you. Some of our students who are going abroad, you find yourself being sent with stuff by somebody you do not know. Avoid being a conduit. If you're traveling, always pack your suitcase. Check that nobody has been able to sleep. Your neighbor, your roommate, no one should be able to do the packing for you so they don't sleep anything and you be used as a conduit. For those of us who are not been affected by either transporting or promoting or using drugs, we still have a part to play. And one of the things we have to do is to love the addict and hate the drug. Find ways of loving them, rehabilitating them, showing them that it can be done, giving them opportunities for employment or business, or just being engaged in some wholesome activities. And lastly, let us assist the state. Let us assist the enforcement authorities by reporting where some of these things are happening, by cooperating and giving out information, because this thing has been brought by the enemy. And sometimes you may find some people that we hold high in society, leaders, business people, unfortunately, are the ones that are being used to, to send these things. So be very careful. Assist, if you're a teacher, assist the young people. If you see marks, parents also, familiarize yourself with symptoms of drug use, and let us help our young people, boy and girl. But this video is about boys, so let's assist the boy child not to be taken sway by the menace of drugs, because the enemy is out to kill the boy child. And we have said we are going to speak up, we're going to help, we're going to rescue the boy child, because they are precious in God's sight. You've been watching CITAM Church Online. Ministry of Christ is the Answer Ministries, and we are glad that you are watching and would like you to engage with us. Give a comment, subscribe, go to our YouTube, connect with YouTube, connect with us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, leave a message, a comment, like, share, and that will be a good thing. God bless you.